And we're recording. Welcome back to Tempted Fate Podcast. I'm DeAndre, aka ADHD. This is my co-host, Jeffrey.
Mr.
Jeffrey.
Mr. Jeffrey. Love the Mr.
Here, you keep that one.
Yeah.
Here, make sure yours is...
That's the one where all the action is.
Yeah, but last time it was like I had to turn up your vocals a little bit.
I know, which is why I need to be closer.
Yeah, or be louder.
Or be louder.
Yeah.
I will be louder.
Yeah, so how was your day today, bro? Today had an off day.
My day off was very relaxing. I enjoyed it a lot. Lots of laying around in my underpants. And
That's great to know.
you just can't beat laying around in your underpants. It's like the whole point of having a day off. Well, I mean, you know, I accomplished some stuff. I made a little standy thing. See, the little standy thing for the. Well, that took like all 5 minutes. Some measuring tape, and I got to use my nesting partner's power tools because she's the kind that likes power tools.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she's the butchy type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, bro. You know, what is it called? The radio station is up there right now.
Yeah.
On the roof.
I saw. I stopped in briefly.
Dude, they were acting like they were celebrities, bro. I'm like, bro, these are regular people, bro. Let's not kiss their ass that much.
You're a radio personality. You're not even a radio personality. They're the help of the radio personalities.
Yeah.
The radio personalities are present, and they're doing their thing, but they're not like the people. They're the people down there who are collecting money for the children. Gotta help the children.
Yeah, they were collecting money, yeah.
Gotta help the children. I don't.
Damn, there's nobody in there.
I just should not be shaking my head at the whole helping the children thing. I should not be scoffing at helping the children.
But does it actually help the children?
I don't know. What
Does breast cancer research actually cure breast cancer? No. What have we been doing for the last 50 whatever years?
Researching the breast cancer.
But okay.
You could never stop researching the breast
Off rep, I can go into the conspiracies. Off rep. Like, seriously, I mean, like, okay.
Oh, okay.
Just...
So that could be the point of today's
podcast.
Today's podcast.
Conspiracies.
We can do your conspiracies because I know.
So, did you label that title yet?
It's been labeled.
Conspiracies?
No, just tempting fate again, which is what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're tempting fate again. And
here we are. This is actually a better angle. I like that better. It shows the backdrop.
Oh.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good little wooden thing.
Yeah.
But let's think about it. Like, that's not even, like, outside of conspiracies. Let's think about it with common sense for a second.
Okay. Common sense. Gravity's not real?
No, we're not going that route. I'm going with something else.
Okay, fine.
I'm just going, like, surface level shit. Like, if we've been giving so much money to this foundation for so long, like, yeah, okay, I understand that it probably does help some people. Like, maybe. Like, I'm sure some people have benefited from, like, the St. Jude Foundation or whatever. Like, somebody's kid probably got saved. But on the grand scheme, there's so much shit still going on in the world that we're giving money to. And it's just like, where's all this money going? Like, all these charities that are collecting money, like, what are they doing? Like, I don't see that much change. People are still dying. My mom still can't get approved for the medicine she needs. Like, how she really needs to get approved for it, because her insurance. Like, let's talk about the American healthcare system. Why is it like that?
Oh my God. The American healthcare system?
Yes, because look at everywhere else, bro. Like, I was looking at a different podcast, and they were talking about different countries, how they actually have like real health care. Like, if something happens to you, you're not gonna have to pay for an ambulance, and just to get seen, you gotta wait 45 minutes. Like, they're trying to make sure you're gonna be good first, not make sure your pocket's good first.
There's a very simple explanation for all of this.
And what is
the
it?
problems that are plaguing the country, the issues that are going on in America at this time. All of our problems. I mean, I am not gonna go off on a vegan rant. It's not gonna happen.
Do it.
No, I refuse.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
I refuse. I'm a non-judgmental sort. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I mean, it's not fair the way that animals are treated.
I agree with that as well.
As far as like, the whole factory farming thing, and the amounts that are killed, and all the ways that they are treated, and all of that stuff. But the whole thing boils down to a very simple problem that plagues the country, that answers it all, because it's all about capitalism,
which is money, or the movement of money, right?
which is making the money.
The making of money, yeah.
The people who have the ambulances, like you were saying, they have to make money, and they're interested in making money.
But they don't have to make money.
Hospitals have to make money, and the companies that are researching the drugs, they have to make money, and all of the endless slaughter of animals in the factory situations, the factory farming, it's all driven by money.
Everything's driven by money.
You have to meet demand, and all those hungry little corpse eaters out there really, really want their meat.
Yeah, I mean, it's all because I just thought about something when you brought up that. It made me think about all the other things, and it's like there's really you can't fix it. It's too because then
you can't fix it, because you're asking people to stop making money.
Yeah, but we've been so conditioned to like you said, like if all of America all of a sudden decided to everybody, let's just stop killing animals, that would upturn the entire economy, wouldn't it?
Maybe not the entire economy.
I mean, but a big portion of it.
But people have been,
because it would have
because people who make a buttload more money than I do, and make a buttload more of everything than I do, have been trained and are educated in how to short circuit our brains and make us want things, because
it's conditioning.
We've not evolved any further than we did back in the day when we decided to walk upright. The fats and sugars and things in food still hit our happy spot, and they have practiced, and they have researched, and they have refined the bliss point of foods to be the greatest thing ever, so that the second that cheeseburger hits your tongue, you're just like, oh my God, and then you go and get another one.
Yeah, and fast food created that dopamine response where it's like you just get instant gratification.
They didn't create it.
Who didn't create it?
Nature created it.
No, you don't understand what I'm saying.
They learned.
You just said how
they learned how they researched it, and they learned how to manipulate.
That's exactly what I was saying.
So that
you didn't let me finish talking.
they've got educated and figured out scientifically how to run us like machines, so that advertising and all of these chemicals in our food trip the appropriate little buttons in our brains and make us respond the way that they want us to respond. It's completely out of our hands. You're on autopilot. Free will is kind of just an illusion. You respond based on reality, and that's the reality of the situation. That when you were when back in the day, when you were a cave person and you were out hunting for food, the stuff that you ate would trip those things in your brain to tell you that this is the best thing for you to grab. This is the best thing for you to be shoving in your mouth.
But what I was saying about the fast food is it took out the entire process of getting the food, hunting the food. Like we no longer have that like instinct of hunting something, or like the drive. Like that's why a lot of people are lazy.
We don't need it.
But why not? Because we're so cushioned in life.
It's provided for us,
Yeah,
because we live in a modern
conditioned.
world. But in a modern world,
But even in a modern world, if you take out some of the stuff that is damaging society, I'm pretty sure we'll be much better off.
you will be better off. Yes.
But it's too late.
Hands down, you will be better off. The reality of the situation is that a lot of these choices that are made for us, we should not be making those choices. Those decisions, those options that are presented to us, that we should not be making those choices because they are unnecessary. They are not what we should be doing. Those triggers,
And excessive.
those triggers that would provide us with the calories and the sugars and the fats that we need to keep from fucking dying. We're not hunted anymore. So we don't need those triggers anymore. We don't need those sensors in our brains that tell us this is what you need to stay alive, because it's not an issue anymore. It's the modern world. It's not like the fats and calories and all the fats and sugars in that cheeseburger are going to help you drive to work better.
No.
You're not hunted anymore. You don't have, it's not like I need to eat this because I need to go run down this particular animal and hunt it and kill it. And I need those calories, and I need to kill this animal, and I need to harvest all of its stuff and go back to the camp.
Some people still live like that, though. They choose to live like that.
But the issue is capitalism. The issue is making money. Because the people that have hacked the system and know how to make us as an organism do what they want us to do is making them an ass ton of money. An ass ton of money. And everybody has their hand out, from the people that deliver the food to the people that put the food in the truck, to the people that put the food in the box, to the people that kill the food in the first place. And all of these things are rolling together to keep up with a demand that they manufacture. They make the food and they make the demand for the food. The amounts that are consumed are needed because the companies and their shareholders need growth. Year after year after year, they need positive growth. And for that, they need more good little people going out and eating and consuming. And in our society and in our culture, it's just, advertising. We just do what we're fucking told.
It's the same exact thing with the music industry. It's the same exact thing that's happening.
Because our brains have been hacked a long time ago because our brains are really fucking simple. Our brains are the same cave brain that has existed for ages. And there's no change. There's no alteration to it. We can now take evolution and the changes that would be made in the human organism out of nature's hands. And if we don't like it, we can go and fix it medically or over the counterly, whatever the fuck that word is.
Pharmaceutically?
Well, pharmaceutically is medically. Drugs or, go and get a surgery to fix your problems, or go to the pharmacy and get a cream to fix your ugly shit. But
that's really only in America. Like, really nowhere else is practicing that. Yeah, they have doctors that are in different countries, but Americans go there.
People have often asked me how exactly I look the way that I look. Because I tell people how old I am and people don't believe me. And
I didn't believe it.
The simple fact, I mean, I make jokes about, not having a soul keeps you young. And that might be true. But it's a complete lack of concern. I don't care. I really don't care. I mean, losing my hair, getting wrinkles, gray hair, what the fuck ever. I do not care. I shave and whatnot. I pay attention to my appearance. I clean myself up. I want to look good, but as far as some of the lengths that people go to, and people are going to some lengths, and they are dumb. Oh my God, they're dumb. Oh my God, people are... It's not going to earn me any brownie points with people in general, but the stories of the woman that goes and gets a nose job and thinks that her kids are going to inherit what her nose looks like.
That's pretty stupid.
That's legendary.
That's really stupid. That's just a lack of common sense.
It should have a different name. It's a misnomer at this point. It's not. Common sense is not common. This
rare sense.
It's misnomer.
Misnomer?
Misnomer. It is an inappropriate name. It is not the proper name.
Sounds like some fucking Greek mythology shit.
I'm gonna buy you a thesaurus, man. But it's all about making money. The vegans and more conservation-minded peoples have a term that applies, that they say that there is no ethical consumption under capitalism.
Yeah.
Because there cannot be.
I'm sorry for everybody who heard that. I had to move the microphone, get the wires out the way.
There cannot be any ethical consumption under capitalism, because you just say you want to get like a bouquet of flowers.
Yeah, somebody worked for that. Somebody,
they have to take those. They have to fill their racks with flowers in little bouquets, and in order to do that, to meet demand for that product, they have to cut corners and they have to produce them at the lowest price, which means that the people that produce them are producing them for the lowest price. They're being paid the least amount of money that they can get away with.
Which is crazy that this is happening.
Then they're being packaged and they're being shipped and they're being put up in the stores, and all of these things all come together.
And at this point, they're making their own shit in labs, dude. Like, they're making lettuce in labs. They're making everything in labs nowadays. They don't even need farmers anymore, basically. They still use farmers, but now they don't even need them for real. If they want to, they can go to a lab and create the same shit. And people can still buy it.
I don't think so.
No, I'm telling you it is. I've seen it.
I do not believe that they will go and do this, because if they were producing stuff in a lab, then the people who are growing the food, they are talking about how bad it is for the farmers and how the people in the labs are taking jobs from the farmers.
Well, aren't those conversations already happening?
Yes, those conversations are already happening.
So you don't think that it's happening?
Like I said, those conversations are already happening. They're losing those arguments. Those arguments about...
But you said you don't think that it's happening.
No, I said it's happening. Those conversations are taking place. And the subsidies that are handed to farmers to try to offset those drains on their income, those things are real. But, I mean, the simple fact of the matter, the reality of the situation, that reality has never, ever been a friend of the American people on the whole. The reality of the situation is that if you were to take and set aside, take the land that you're using to feed all of the animals that you're slaughtering en masse for meat consumption, if you were to take that land that you're growing all that food for those animals and start to grow food for people, then you would be able to feed the people 100 times over. There's that much land that you're growing all of the food for the animals that you're killing to process and give back to the people.
But what about the animals? Like, what are you going to do with them?
Well, that's the thing. That's the debates that my nesting partner and I always get into.
Because if you save the animals, then what? Like,
I love to play devil's advocate with this, because like anybody that knows me knows that the devil's advocate just suits me. But if we were to do the whole thing and just say, okay, this is now, you're not growing food for the factory farming, for the animals that are being fed and slaughtered and whatnot. You're now growing food for people, and all of these animals are now like, there's not enough food for all of these animals. In order to be cost effective and in order to have the income there, they just turn around and kill all the animals. They would just massacre the whole herd. They would get them to the price would go up because of scarcity, because they want to keep their prices low so that it's available for the common man, which is why you have to have an ass ton of these things. And you would have them just kill them all, just liquidate the whole herd, because that they would have to do that, because they would have to, because of the finances, because of the money, because to keep the factory farm above water, they would have to liquidate all of the animals and get them to the processing centers and get them to the slaughterhouses and do all of it as quickly as possible. And they would have to pare down the size of their herds to a more manageable size. It would be a ripple effect. It's all interconnected. It's all
So there's no right or wrong then. I mean, not right or wrong, but there's no clear way to go with this.
no.
Because either way, there's gonna have harmful effects either way.
Yes.
So it's almost like as a human, do you look out for the animal more than you look out for your fellow human, or do you look out for the human more than you look out for the animal?
Well, when it comes to humans and animals, I have a very simple rule that I use. Very simple metric that I use for gauging where to put my sympathy and where to put my concern, ethically speaking. And that is ancestral guilt and the debt that our species has. Because we, as a person, you can go to a library or to your phone, the repository of all of humanity's selfies and dick pics, right there in the palm of your hand. Google nature's repository of all things human. all of our knowledge right there at your fingertips. You know what came before. You might not know, but it's right there for you. You can figure shit out. You can learn. You know.
Are you talking about the history of us?
I'm talking about the guilt of a species, us, as people. That's not saying you and me
so
as
when
individuals.
You say guilt, what are you referring to? Are you referring to like
saying what we have done,
as a people,
coming up to this point, what we have done, that knowledge is down. We know it. It's there. We have kept track of it.
I have
thoughts
on that too.
Whether you know it, I know it, is irrelevant. It exists.
It exists, yes.
You can look it up. You can find out how we have treated animals down through the ages. We can find out how we make use of food, how your body uses the nutrients, all of this stuff that we know. These aren't guesses. These aren't theories. This isn't voodoo. You aren't throwing chicken bones at a rock with paint on it and figuring out where the shit lands and consulting, like, you're not killing every third baby to make grass grow. We know these things. A cow is born. A cow grows up. A cow gets fat because it's hungry. It's fed. It gets fat. It's led down a path. It's shot in the fucking head
with a rod.
Whatever. A 22, a shotgun. Who gives a shit? A pickaxe. That's not important. It's led down a little path and it's shot in the fucking head and then it's cut up into pieces and then it's, processed into food. It has no goddamn clue. It can't look up the stuff. It can't figure out the things. It doesn't have any idea. There's no long history of cow injustice stretching back to time immemorial.
We don't know if they have that in their mind.
What the... No, we know, dude.
You don't know what a cow thinks about.
We know what a cow thinks about.
What does a cow think about?
A cow thinks about what the fuck is going on. Why? I guess I better go this way because if I go that way, somebody's gonna poke me in the butt, and I don't want to get stabbed in the ass, so I'm gonna walk this way, because this way hurts. This way doesn't.
Little does he know that way is fucked. This is what I think about.
But people know we have the history ahead of us. We know what we've done. We know what we're gonna do. We know what we're gonna continue to do. A baby cow, the calf, has no idea. There is no guilt there. There's no knowledge there. So the human bears the guilt because they should know. Someone should tell them to look up the blood up to your fucking nutsack that you're standing in. That
Yeah.
people,
But some of that blood is justified.
at the time, maybe.
Yeah, so not all of it can be labeled as guilt.
If you learn and you know and you change, then the justifications for the bloodshed and the murder and the bad things that a human being does to another human being over and over and over again, those justifications change.
From person to person.
From society to society.
Well, you can't put guilt of society on every person because every person ain't out here doing everything. You ain't out here killing people or animals.
But you're born into it.
Yeah, but you're not killing animals. You're not killing people.
But I'm a participant in it because I'm a human being.
Yes, but you also make choices based on the knowledge that you have. That means that you are living your life according to
I can do my little part because I educated myself. I know.
So are you abstain from the guilt then?
I know the guilt that came before. Well, no, the guilt motivates me to do something different.
So you're processing and you're handling it.
Yes.
And there's other people that are doing that too.
Yes, there are. It's more than just me.
Yeah.
I'm not special. The same resources that are available to me are available to other people. So other people then can go and look it up and they can make the educated choices.
And there's also levels to how far you want to take it, because you could be a person that says, I don't ever want to touch an animal. I don't ever want to eat another living organism ever again. Like, I'd rather get my nutrients from natural whatever. Like, but at a certain level, now you're pissing off the plant people because now you're killing. Now you're eating vegetables. Now you're like, it can go so deep. It can go literally so deep to the point where you can't do anything.
Well, I guess, yeah.
Wait, let me check if this camera's still on. Just make sure.
It's all chasing your tail. It's all in a circle. But the idea is to minimize your footprint, minimize the amount of bad things that you are responsible for, minimize how awful things that you do are. And if you can minimize your impact.
Wow. Okay, so this thing, for some reason, just stopped recording at 6 minutes and 27 seconds.
So it only recorded for 6 minutes?
And 27 seconds.
Nice. I've been talking to myself. I love it. Best conversations I've ever had. Talking to myself is awesome. I talk to myself all the time.
All right, let's try this again, shall we?
Uh-huh.
We're not going to start the podcast over. We're just going to pick up where we left off.
So the idea is to minimize your impact, and everybody minimizing their impact, everybody minimizing their shit down the line. It's like the great chain. Everybody pulls together.
Wow. Oh, it says my storage is full. I just literally deleted all my pictures and everything. So I don't know what else I can delete.
Everybody pulls on the chain together, and everybody makes the change together. And big pull, little pull, whatever. Many hands make light work. You pull on it all together, and you make the changes. And by doing that, the change incrementally, a tiny little tug, becomes something bigger. Everybody does their part. But not everybody's doing their part. Not everybody is even pulling in the same direction. Because as people, we don't all pull in the same direction.
I mean, some people don't pull at all. They're just there.
No, they just stand there. They're just there. They're just waiting.
Yeah, at some point. I mean, I don't know if this is ever gonna happen. If it does happen, it's not gonna happen in our lifetime.
Oh, well, it'll never happen.
If there's ever a time where everybody can get on the same exact page, but now you're talking about a hive mind. That's the only time that I can see that happening.
What do you think we have right now?
It's a hive mind as far as social media goes, but bro, like good and well that we're not in a hive mind. Everybody's doing something different.
Bro,
Nobody. Hold on, because there's
bro.
We have echo chambers. People get locked in these echo chambers, their own little personal groups, their own little personal things. Yes.
What? No. We're in a hive.
So if
right
we're
now.
in a hive mind, why is there racism?
Because that's a pretty big fucking hive.
Exactly. That's exactly what I just said. There's small hives. It's not one big hive. There's small, incremental hives.
Yeah. What you're talking about is interconnectivity of these hives, and you should take the big ones should conquer the little ones.
Which is what you're talking about.
Well, I'm talking about everybody just beginning to move in the same direction. I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about like the injustices of capitalism and the bad things that capitalism makes people do. In order for these people to make money, they go and they do other things. They go and they
and then they start putting additives in there and start taking out ingredients and putting in crazy shit.
Well, they're doing that to make money.
Yeah.
And they do not care about your welfare, because there's 1,000 other jackasses right behind you that they're already grooming to be Christians, to be consumers. And at this point, even religion is a product to be packaged and to be consumed, to be marketed. And
yeah, that's true. That's why you have mega churches now. And I'm not saying all mega churches are
mega churches. If you really want to piss off a religious person, make a simile between a mega church and a factory farm. Yeah.
And just to be clear, like I said before, I am not talking about all mega churches. I'm sure there are some out there that are not taking advantage of people, but there's a lot that are like, if you call right now, I swear God will bless you. All you gotta do is give me $10, right? It's just like, what? How is me sending you money on a hotline? That's not real. And anybody whoever hears this, don't fall for stuff like that, dude. If you fall for something like that, that's on you at that point. You can't pay for a blessing.
No, if you educate yourself and you look shit up,
And just understand yourself.
That's where I'm talking about the guilt of our race. Not black or white, but a human being. As guilty as we are, we as a race, the race that I was born into, the species that I am, is disgusting.
Yes, it is. Very.
And back in the day, turn around and touch on the hot button issue of slavery for a second. They started rounding up people in Africa, and other tribes in Africa saw the opportunity to make money and to make power and finance, because money has different
Currency, yeah.
currency has different forms. So maybe they weren't making money as we know it today, but they were making clout.
They were making profit.
They were making power, authority.
That's more what it was back then.
So they round up other people of other tribes, and they sell them into slavery for money. They sell their own people because humans are disgusting. We just always, and we know these things. We know.
But there's not really much we can do about it.
But you look at when you go look at voting districts for, let's just say the most obvious case, the Republican voting districts. That looks like a frickin' Jackson Pollock painting. Splatter fucking art. It's like kind of around the corner. It's like art by Dr. Seuss. It's fucking stupid. And the end result with all of the gerrymandering of a voting district is that it doesn't matter what kind of candidate it is. It doesn't matter how big of a fucking douche fuck these people are. They can walk to being reelected because the whole thing is arranged in a way where it's virtually guaranteed. The shape of it, you could sit a fucking eggplant and just say, this is the candidate. Or a goldfish or a fucking Labrador retriever. It doesn't fucking matter because everybody in that whatever weird ass shaped district are, of course, they're going to vote a certain way. And if they don't, then they can move it. They could. So you're like, well, we go across town to the school to vote, but across the street, those people, they go to this other place to vote. And so do the people over there. Well, what's so special about your corner? Well, we don't vote the way that those other people vote, so we have to go to a different place. What? I mean, the whole system starting way, way back has been rigged and machined and modified and groomed.
That's why I don't vote, dude. Because none of it's real.
Oh my God. Please tell me that's not true.
Well, that I don't vote?
Did you don't vote? You have to vote.
Why?
Because.
My grandma said the same thing. I told her, I was like, either way.
God.
I was like, either way, I gotta wake up in the morning, I gotta go to work, I gotta pay bills, no matter who's in the office.
Oh my God.
Like, why would I vote? I don't want either of them.
Because it doesn't matter.
Why?
You're not even voting for the person anymore. At this point, you're voting against living in a police state. You're voting against all the craziness that's going to happen.
Do you really think?
Yes.
Like,
yes,
bro,
I really think.
Think for a second.
Yes, I really think it.
Do you really think?
Yes.
That just because the American people vote for something, that they're not going to still do what they want to do?
Okay, they're going to do what they want to do, but I want to make sure that the people who are doing what they want are doing things that they want that are in line with what I want.
It's never... You even said, like, we can't control what they do to us. These people are moving money around that we can't even comprehend.
Yes, but...
You really think...
They're moving money around in ways that we can't comprehend, and they're buying things
that we can't comprehend
that I want. That's the difference.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now, the things that I've seen, the things that I research this shit on a daily basis. I'm telling you right now, there's never going to be a time where anybody's vote's going to matter. Anybody. I don't care if the 100% of the country voted for one person. If the government does not want that person in office, they're going to get elected, and guess what's going to happen? They're going to get into a car accident the next fucking week. And get somebody else in there.
Oh, that's deep.
Like, I'm trying to tell you, they're going to listen to you, but they're still going to get what they want. Somebody's going to get into a helicopter crash. The fucking plane's going to crash. The fucking car's going to explode randomly. Oh, carbon monoxide poisoning. They still get what they want.
Oh, carbon monoxide poisoning. That's nice.
So there's never going to be a world where they're going to be
That's
like, hey.
the silent killer.
Exactly. So it's like, they have evidence of people lying on death certificates, lying on autopsy reports. Do you really think this shit's never going to, like, voting does not matter. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Voting matters.
Voting in concept matters. The theory of voting matters.
Voting matters.
That's one thing American people have to hold on to that's never going to change in their minds. But it doesn't matter because it has changed.
Voting matters.
Look, okay, and you know what? I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not going to get into the whole Trump thing. I'm not. That's a whole separate window I'm not going to jump through. We said last podcast that I was going to talk about CNA shit. So we're going to end this podcast. I'm going to talk about some CNA stories. If you're okay with that.
Am I okay with what?
Me talking about CNA stories. Segueing.
Yeah, I don't care. Well, how many different... We've talked about how many different topics so far?
Pretty much like the same. It's just been around government shit.
Flown around to so many different topics. We have no theme.
But basically, right, when I was a CNA, I dealt with a lot of fucking bullshit. I seen a lot of the worst of humanity. You want to talk about disgusting people? I've seen people bring their aunt to the nursing home. Like, okay, here you go, bye. And then gone. Never see him again. Gone. Never seen him again. I've seen holes in people's backs that I can put both my fists inside of.
Did you?
Yes, the nurse made me do it so I could see how deep it really was. Like,
fun.
Like, I've gotten shit on in my mouth, in my eye, my nose, threw up on, spit it on, bit, stabbed with forks, knives, called every type of N-word, every type of coon.
I know there are people, because I physically know some of these people that would love that. That they set aside time in their schedule to be shit on.
Okay, dude.
Just saying.
I'm talking about, yes, regular shit, but I'm also talking about colostomy bag shit.
Yeah, you told me the story about the lady that threw her colostomy bag at you.
No, she didn't throw it. She waited until it was gassed, and then it was puffed up, and then I walked into the room, and she was like, hey, and I was like, what? She like that. It was like a laser.
Respect the accuracy.
And I literally just stood there for a second. And I had to fight the urge to drop kick her in the mouth. And I had to just go home and change and take a shower real quick. The craziest story that I have is I was taking care of this man. And mind you, nothing was wrong with him. No dementia, nothing. Like, regular old man who's just in there.
Just a regular old man.
Yeah, he's in there. And me, another CNA, which is a female, and the nurse who was pregnant at the time. About 4 months, I want to say. 4 or 5 months. And the guy knew this. He's being combative, so I called the nurse in there because you got to have a witness if you're going to, deal with a combative person. And then she comes in there, he's like, get the fuck out of here, you goddamn bitch. Like, going crazy and shit. And then I'm trying to pick him up to change his shirt, and then he straight up donkey kicks her in the stomach, hard as fuck. Like, and she fell to the ground, and I literally had to pin him to the bed. And then we called his family, and yeah, they had to get him out of there.
Now, I wonder something. People who are that mean, that angry, and act like that, if you were to turn him into a hamburger, would that taste bad?
Yeah, so it tastes very bad because the meat is tainted with hatred and anger. He died in an angry state.
Well, I mean most cows die in a state of
Yeah.
panic and fear. But
And they say that when you take care of a cow and you feed it good and you make sure it's calm, it tastes better.
but just talking about possible uses for the elderly.
Well, I
And-
can't
and
say
I'm-
anything like that because
I-
I'm still under the Elder Justice Act, so I can't talk about harm to an elderly person on camera.
Want me to turn the camera off?
Just turn the microphone off. God damn fucking.
I'll turn the camera on. One of my biggest regrets in life, I had the opportunity to just an opportunity to take out my grandmother, and she was an awful person, and I probably should have, but I didn't, and I regret that decision.
Probably shouldn't say that on camera.
Why?
Well, there you have it, folks. He said it on camera.
I said it. I said it on camera. I regret not taking her out when I had the chance. She was walking down the stairs in front of me. I was following her down the stairs. And if I'd stumbled and fallen onto her, both of us would have gone down the stairs, and she was basically made of spit and baling wire at that point. She was just balsa wood and hate. There's no chance. I probably would have broken something tumbling down those stairs, but it would have been worth it. Because she would be dead, and, I mean, minimizing the cost-benefit analysis, minimizing the amount of suffering that she caused, it probably would have been a karmic net gain for me. But she went on to make other people incredibly miserable and really hurt a lot of people on her way down. Because some people, when they leave this world, they like to leave the biggest hole they can. They like to really fuck things up before they go.
Yeah. Yeah.
They like to really leave a mark when they go. And a lot of people don't care about the kind of mark that they leave.
It's a scary thing, bro.
Very scary thing.
When people... What makes a person do that? What makes a person want to kill people and murder people?
That's human. That's in your brain. The
But
same,
it's
the same
different
thing.
levels of
The
it.
same thing that makes you desperately crave a Big Mac. It's the same thing that makes you desperately want what your neighbors have. It's the same thing that makes you desperately want to
different levels of it, though.
desperately want to stick your dick into an attractive woman. It's the human. It's part of you. Just because you're told that that's bad doesn't mean that those things,
yeah.
all those things aren't.
Yeah, everybody
still-
has the capabilities too, but you hear these people that are like, they have a craving to kill. Like, it literally bothers them if they don't kill somebody.
Well, that's a bad thing. That's
Different
a
levels of that shit.
that's a deviant thing. That's something someone should seek some care for. I'm talking about basic human stuff. If pushed, you and I and that person that kills somebody with an axe because it's Tuesday, not all that different. If it comes right down to it.
Well, just the difference is the reasoning behind it.
We're not all that different. When the chips are down and your back's against the wall and you have those serious questions, you and I and the serial killer and the serial rapist and the serial whatever, we're all
I
not,
don't know about that.
we're not that different.
I don't think that's true.
It's all still in there. They're not they themselves, the guy that can't help himself, he's made of the same things that you are.
It's not always about that.
It's just a slight, tiniest little change in how it all functions. That, nature, nurture, it's all so complicated. It's so far above my pay grade. I don't know.
I just don't think when these people's backs are against the wall, they're the same. Like, not everybody's the same. You got some people back against the wall, they're gonna fucking fold up like a goddamn chair. They're gonna fall apart. Some people, they step up and they start fighting back. Some people, they run.
Yeah.
Some people, they're just gonna try to talk to you and be like, "Look, let's talk about this."
But the people that run, or the people that curl up into a little ball and start crying, or the people that pick up a rock and bash their fucking head in with it, we're all made of the same garbage. It's all the same bullshit. Sometimes that person that folds up into a little ball and starts crying, that person, you take him out of that situation and dust him off and change his pants and put him back in that situation again, and he might react differently. Fight or flight is a die roll in your brain.
Yeah, I know.
You
can't control it.
It's a certain amount of chance involved. Maybe in the grand scheme of things, maybe he rolled badly. Maybe that's a botch. And, he rolled the dice and they came up ones and he crapped his pants and rolled into a little ball, and who the fuck knows? But in the end, we're all made of the same garbage.
Yeah, physically.
Physically, yeah, free will is an illusion. What you decide to do, the choices that you make are handed to you on a silver platter, and you're responding to stimuli. You're responding to the stuff that, you're that cow being stabbed in the ass.
I mean, I agree and I disagree.
Because free will is an illusion. Because you say, I want to walk through this wall, you can't walk through the wall. You can try to walk through the wall.
Well, okay, that's not a part of free will.
Of course it is.
Just because you have free will doesn't mean you're going to walk through a wall.
Well,
you're talking about, that's like, what is it, metaphysical? When you're extra physical, extraterrestrial.
But your free will that says that I can do what I want.
Within the laws that I've created.
You didn't create those rules.
No, not me.
You didn't say I can't.
No, I'm talking about God, but whatever higher power you believe in, whatever laws that they've created for you.
Well,
they told you when you were born, they said you can't walk through physical objects. So, with that being said, do with what you will, but you can't walk through physical objects.
Yeah. So you do not have, that portion, you do not have that free will. You cannot, if you decide you want to do it, you cannot physically do it.
No. It's kind of like a game, like a linear game, like Silent Hill. You have a linear path you follow, but in that path you can choose to do different things, but in the end you're still going the same direction. It's predestined for you.
It's because the free will is an illusion. It's a good illusion. It's a magic trick. Convincing you that you have any say in your life, convincing you that you can make decisions. But when you are presented with the options in front of you, and you choose those options, you choose the one that they want you to pick.
It's already been chosen.
You choose the one that's presented to you that they know how to make you choose it.
Do you believe in the multiverse theory?
The multiverse theory?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And I'm sure they all suck.
Well, it's pretty much just like there's a version of you that decided not to touch your face just now. There's a version of you that decided to, instead of sit up, sit back. There's just endless versions of you that chose different things.
But in multiversal theory, the creation of an alternate timeline based on choices is only created when a significant choice takes place. The idea of whether I touch my face right now or not, it doesn't matter. It has
Who knows?
no appreciable effect on the flow of time.
That you know of.
It's obvious that it has no appreciable effect.
Is anything obvious?
Because I'm sitting here and say that the entire rest of the time that we're doing this, I never touch my face again. Versus the entire time I sit here like this. The entire time.
Because then it goes into the butterfly effect.
When the time elapses and we shut the stream down, what has changed?
It's not going to be obviously like in your face the changes.
But now, say we make the decision that we shut the stream down right now, you go out and get in your car and you leave right now, or we stream for an extra 20 minutes and then you leave 20 minutes later. The time in which you are leaving, there's another vehicle that you have an appointment with. And if you leave early or you leave late, or you leave at a certain given time, and you're eating through a straw.
Okay, well, hopefully not.
But those choices, which we can't differentiate when those choices come along, that have an appreciable effect, those are split. Those choices matter. Whether or not I put my hand on my face is a small little decision that doesn't...
Well, it's the same thing that you said, too. It's the different timelines with the major events, but the little events are also attached to the major events.
I don't believe every decision that you make has an appreciable effect on the flow of time. I think that a person can just do things and it doesn't matter. And then there's some things that a person can do that matter. Decisions that you make that have impact. Decisions that you make that have an appreciable effect one way or the other. That change things for the good or change things for the bad. It is very, very fucking difficult to know what choices are good and what choices are bad. And not even good or bad, just different. To control the flow of where you want your life to go.
Yeah.
And you can't clutter your mind quibbling about the little choices that are inconsequential or the big things that really matter. Because I got into a car accident recently. Somebody pulled out in front of me. And I T-boned the fucker. And just by sheer freaking chance, I happened to be going at a decent speed. Decent in this case being slower.
Yeah.
And I just so happened to, because I pay attention to other vehicles around me, I saw him pull out and I slammed on the brakes, and the anti-lock brakes did not, allow the wheels to squeal or anything like that. The anti-lock brakes did their job. But any other given day, I drive really fast.
Yeah.
The speed limit is not even a suggestion to me. Any other given day, completely random choice, if he had decided to pull out in front of me and I hadn't seen him, oh my God. Yeah, my car would have been totaled. I would have been eating the fucking airbag. My glasses would have been jammed into my fucking brain so deep I could read the writing on the side of them before they came out the other side.
Yeah.
To mitigate those types of situations when I'm driving down the street, driving at excessive speeds. I see another vehicle. I assume that that person is a fucking idiot that's going to pull out in front of me. And I make my choices accordingly.
Yeah.
Given my personality and given my worldview, most of the time I'm just sitting here going, come on, go ahead, try it. Pull out in front of me. But, I mean, at that particular interaction, I happen to be going at a much slower speed. And I don't even have any explanation for why.
Because that guy wasn't meant to die yet.
Oh, I'm sure he was delivering newspapers. I'm sure it was very important that he continue on his course of action.
Yeah.
His little journey in this world. Just like mine, because I'm going to make a big difference in the world.
His podcast might.
I really hope that I don't make a significant impact on the world.
No, you already have.
I really don't want to be...
We're popular in India.
I don't want to make the decisions. I don't want to be the one to make the choices. Because my decisions and my choices are not good. If I had authority and I had the power and I was literally shaping the world, it would not be good for anyone. And I know this. I know me. I know the world. I know I don't want it. Because I know what I would do.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'm going to have to go soon.
Okay. Well, we've been streaming for a while. I see one little viewer in there. I don't know.
Yeah, he's been here half the time. But, all right, guys, as you guys know, well, you're going to know, but the video cut off literally in the beginning. So this is going to be live stream, but the mastered version is going to be audio only. It's not going to have video this time. So, sorry, guys.
Ooh, audio?
Yeah.
I didn't remember that. We recorded all this crap still in audio.
Yeah. But, all right, guys, it's been Timothy Fate Podcast. I'm DeAndre, a.k.a. ADHD.
And I'm Mr. Jeffrey.
Yeah. See you guys next time.